The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a Primal Lifestyle. With your hosts, Nico and Ellen Haan. Now, Nico and Ellen Haan.
Good morning. I'm Nico Haan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. Good morning. I'm Ellen Haan.
It's a beautiful morning in downtown St. Petersburg. Mostly clear skies at 73 degrees, and it feels like 73 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, 10% chance of rain, 96% humidity, and the air quality is pretty good.
But the wind's out of the north-northwest, so it doesn't feel hot outside.
No, it doesn't, and it's still in the 70s in the early morning.
Yeah.
But that's soon to change, a couple of weeks maybe. We'll be there in the fall. We had that nice cold front, though.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it's been a great year, for sure.
But we weren't fooled.
No, we never are. We know that October can be hot also,
right,
for sure.
Right.
But I'd like to remind you to pick up a couple of things. First of all, our Primal Edge, and we have a new label with Ellen on the cover now. So this is endorsed by myself and Ellen at Living a Primal Lifestyle. So pick up that.
We take it every morning.
Yeah, we do. We take it every morning. We just shot the commercial. I think they might be even showing it today, so we'll see that. So it's $89 a month, and this ensures, if you have a good diet, that you get all your vitamins, minerals, all those little trace elements, all powered by folic and humic acid, and that makes the good stuff come in.
And the bad stuff go out.
And that's the important part of it. You need some kind of signaling process to get this stuff in there. It doesn't happen magically. Well, it is kind of magically.
Human body is amazing,
Yes,
and those acids really tell the cells this part goes in and get rid of that.
That's right. Yeah, so it helps
amazing.
you lose weight in that. Mm-hmm. And we have our Health Signals newsletter. The 1st and the 15th is when these come out, and they follow the show. So the articles of the past 2 weeks were in there, and you can check that out. And I want to start off today with this article from Mark's Daily Apple, Mark Sisson, why it's so hard to ditch grains, with a caveat when everybody else is eating them. That makes it a little harder. But we started this process about 12 or 13 years ago, I think it was, when we really, my sister gave me a book on, from Mark Sisson, as a matter of fact, The Primal Blueprint. Mm-hmm. And in there it started explaining how our diet has changed and why some of these things that we're eating today are completely foreign to us, especially in the shape it's in.
Yeah, and I remember you were saying, okay, we're going to try this. And we had just gone out and stocked up on whole grain cereal. I thought,
right.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Well, we managed to give a lot of that stuff away.
We did. Thanksgiving food drives and things like that.
Yeah. So why is it so hard for people to grasp this part? Because the grains have been with us for quite a few thousand years. You know, somewhere along the line, we probably used them in the wild, and somewhere, maybe 3, 5, 6,000 years ago, somebody planted them, decided the seeds are good to plant. And that was a big...
It was probably a matter of seeds got excreted somewhere and grew.
Yeah, and they realized, oh, the seeds are the ones that do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's important to save them. It's also nice that you can eat them if you do certain things to them. Mm-hmm. And the problem with grains is a big thing. And it says right here that the same people who are eating grains are struggling with achy joints, brain fog, extra weight, completely oblivious to the diagnosis of diabetes or high blood pressure, which may soon be on the horizon for them. So these types of diseases are very prevalent in our modern society. Mm-hmm. I noticed, and I think you did too, when we stopped eating the grains, the first thing that we noticed was we weren't so hungry anymore. And the second thing is a lot of aches and pains that we had in our joints kind of disappeared.
You know, that was important for me because I was having a lot of aching and pain from my incipient arthritis.
Yeah.
And it was at the point where I was, you know, the expression wringing your hands. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I was constantly massaging my hands because they hurt.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I noticed was I immediately went down 2 belt sizes, 2 belt notches, and that was because of the bloating and the extra, whatever, the inflammation from the grains.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we'll discuss. In fact, you might be on the fence about cleaning up your diet. And if you are, one of the first places I always recommend to start is doing away with those cereals in the morning and doing away with some of the bread and see how you feel.
And you know, I say to people, just try it for 10 days. You can do anything for 10 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Marx here says that if you've been around to here for a minute or more, you know that grains are often problematic in the body. Not only do they elicit an insulin response and add more fat storage, as all excess carbohydrates do, they contain lectins. This is a naturally found toxin that impacts the permeability of the gut wall. And I had this problem all my life. When I was young and going to school, they said I had a nervous stomach. You know, whatever that means. Right. But what these lectins do is they actually can go through the wall of the intestines and go into the bloodstream, and then they become very dangerous when they do that. Well, and there's
a leaky gut.
That's what it's called, leaky gut, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not only grains that have these toxins, but also the industrialized oils, the so-called vegetable oils. And sugar, of course, is the same.
In excess,
in excess, yeah. So any of these things in excess, and what do you consider excess? Well, a bowl of cereal is excess in a sense because you're starting your day with it. The only saving grace may be that whole milk that's in there, you know, but that may be pasteurized and may be a problem too because it's industrialized so much.
If you have any kind of lactose intolerance, you don't do the dairy, and then you try something like a soy milk.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later because we have a lot of milks on board too.
But the point is that bowl of cereal may not be the ideal way to start your day. In fact, it probably isn't.
And and you know the thing is with the grains is they're so entrenched. I mean, we have them in our religions. We have them. Of course, the cookbooks.
You break bread, that's the expression for eating, you know.
And breakfast is supposed to be the most important meal, too, they say. I don't know if that's true. I mean, when you wake up, if you wake up in the afternoon, that's the most important meal, maybe. Maybe the most important meal is the one you don't eat in our society today.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So grains are intrinsically woven into nearly every aspect of our society. And this, you know, studies show that small children, they prefer the taste of something sweet rather than sour.
And I wonder if some of that is, you know, when you're feeding a baby and you're going...
You have an expression on your
face. You know, oh, boy, this doesn't smell that good. You know?
Well, there is that, for sure, because if you want to be in touch with your child, you better be happy what you're doing with them, for sure.
Yeah, it's anything, you know, training a pet or raising a child. I mean, and dealing with your partner, anything that's, you know, this tastes terrible. Taste it.
Well, thank you.
I think this is spoiled here.
Yeah, have a taste. Smell this for me. Yeah, I remember that too. But the thing is, with grains, it's really hard to avoid in our society, and I think that's part of the reason why they're so hard to give up. But I encourage everybody to, you know, try this. Try taking grains out of, you know, a lot of people say, oh my God, what do you eat?
Well, and we'll talk about that after the break.
I think we will. Meanwhile, pick up our Primal Edge, and let's see if that commercial is switched over yet. I'm not sure. But stick around, folks. We got a lot more.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the fund is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Now we were talking about grains, and grains are everywhere. It's just if you think about the food that people eat on a regular basis, and we watch one podcast, and the fellow, every time he goes into town, he has pizza.
Yeah.
And it's pizza is a grain. The crust is a grain.
Mm-hmm.
Cookies are grains, cake is grains, bread of all kinds is grains, and even oats are grains. Mm-hmm. Wheat is grains.
And some are probably less problematic than others. Oats may be one, but
the point is, mm-hmm. The point I'm trying to make here is that grains really permeate our diets, and so many of the options for what we eat, breaded food. We started frying like chicken wings with no breading on them, and lo and behold, they're delicious and they're juicy and they come out really good. And of course, we fry them in lard, and so a good thing. But,
well, part of the stuff is we crave connections with people. We crave connections with traditions. And a lot of the traditions that we have involve baked things, and a lot of people eat baked things. So when you're out and about with people and have lunch with them, they may be eating the bread and you don't.
You bring the pie to the house for when you go to dinner.
Well, they're very comfort foods, and that's really what they're named, aren't they?
But what we've been talking about for years, what you've been talking about on the show for years, is the addictive properties of the morphine-like enzyme that's in grains that basically made us addicted to them, and
even just the smell.
Mm-hmm. That warm bread.
Yeah, I had a really good memory of when I was about 10 years old in Sudbury, Ontario. My walk to school would take me by this bakery, and they'd always have the bread out there. You could walk by. In fact, my buddy and I would often grab a loaf and go into the woods and chow down on it, nice and warm and everything,
Your misspent youth.
Yes, of course it was. But it's a real good memory because of that smell. When you walk by there, there was no doubt you wanted some of that.
Well, so many of our senses are inextricably interwoven with the memories, and they evoke a memory, and that gets us to the comfort food. Mm-hmm. Into the concept of fitting in, and being a part of the group,
Sure.
and not calling attention to yourself, and particularly today with the bullying and so on.
Well, just think you may be going to somebody's house. I think of going into somebody's tent and tribe, and now breaking bread and having tea and stuff like that. It's woven into just meeting people and stuff. To get comfortable with somebody, you break bread with them, those
we have
types
a
of
meal,
things.
meet them at a restaurant, whatever.
Right.
But sometimes when you don't eat those things, you go to one of our favorite places and they serve a little corn muffin, and the corn muffin is delicious, but we don't get it.
Right.
And we can eat it. We can eat any of this stuff.
And we have occasionally. We have some potato chips or something. I mean, but later on.
I pay for it.
Yeah, and I do too. There's the little things that happen, and you notice them.
My fingers start to ache right away.
Yeah.
It's just a reminder that we are what we eat.
Yeah.
And but this article is very interesting.
It says here most people share food is a shared experience and often imprints joyful, lasting memories. Think about holiday separations or celebrations, birthday parties, weddings, everything kind of like that before
and
the
pre-COVID, and maybe hopefully post-COVID.
Yeah. When we first started eating grains thousands of years ago, it wasn't the same type of grain naturally because we've improved it so much to be able to be handled, to make it larger so it's easier to spot in the fields. We've made these things a lot different. So they've evolved. They've become part of us. And so we're here now in the 21st century, and the grain is a lot different. In fact, we only have 2 or 3 species that we use of the thousands of species. And these thousands of species were all grown in different parts, but we decided to pick 1 or 2 and just recultivate those better and better and better. To make them better for the farmer, to make them better, easier to handle.
Higher yield.
Yeah, all those types of things. So, it's not the same grain, and now we're genetically modifying these grains. And of course, we're talking about corn, we're talking about soy, we're talking about wheat and rye and barley and sorghum, all these different things. Some are less impactful as far as your deterioration of health, but some of them really are bad, and it varies, I think, to population. In other words, if you had a upbringing that included thousands of years of your ancestors eating a certain type of bread, maybe that bread is not that bad for you because your body is just starting to get used to it. But somebody from another, somebody else from another culture comes in. Think about the Jewish culture, think about a Native American culture, how different the food is.
No, it's a matter of what's available, too. And
sure, it's always from your local area. Not today, but that's what it used to be. So we have to understand why these things are here and now why it's important to get rid of it, because we have a lot of problems, health problems with these grains, psychological problems, and social problems with these grains. They bring people together, which is a good thing, but they're not very healthy.
Well, and the brain fog aspect of it is very interesting. And one of the things that's talked about in this article is some studies that were done that say if you're trying to reach an agreement with somebody over a meal or over a snack even during a board meeting or a client meeting or a customer meeting or something of that nature, eating the same thing as the person is eating
creates, you're emulating them in a sense.
It creates a sense of comfort. It creates a confidence in what people believe you better.
Yeah, it's mirroring. It's what we used to use in sales. The guy puts his arm here, you got to put the arm in here and sit the same way and slant your head the same way, and all of a sudden you're in tune.
Do you remember years ago, you were in the pest control business, and we had a termite problem at the house, and you opened the door to the termite guy, and you were dressed the same way he was. And you mentioned that, I'm in the business too. You looked like him. And he was very responsive because we were looking for honoring a warranty. So he was very much more, I suspect, more responsive to you in a positive way because you looked like him, you know.
That makes sense.
It was interesting.
So here's how to go against the grain.
As it were.
Yeah. There's several. Be comfortable with your why. I realize I sound like a broken record here, but understanding your deep down reason for doing whatever it is you're doing is going to be a game changer, and it comes with weathering the storms of the ups and downs of your health journey.
Yeah, so the why, in other words, why have you chosen not to eat grains? And if you really understand that, because you feel better, because you don't ache, because it's better for your body, whatever else is going on in there, you have to have a clear picture.
Well, I think a clear skin. There's so many different things in there. Number 2 is check your people-pleasing beliefs. Don't get fooled here. People-pleasing isn't about being amiable and easygoing. It's about acting a certain way in hopes that others will like and accept you, which turns...
which in turn helps quantify your self-worth. Yeah. You know, and boy, it's hard. When there's so much around you, so many opportunities. I mean, even a few chips, you know, a couple French fries. What's the big deal? But it all adds up. It's cumulative, and that's part of the problem.
So we'll finish these up after the break. So stick around, folks. So we got a lot more, and Ellen and I will be right back.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. So we're talking about, improving our health and making a decision that we're going to cut out grains. I think this is logically one of the first steps. And it may be one of the hardest for a lot of people because we're really in tune with grains. They really are part of our culture. They're part of our religion. They're part of things that we have good memories of. And other people eat them. and that makes us uncomfortable sometimes. It doesn't for me anymore. At first, it was kind of weird. I a lot of times go for a beer with our buddies after jiu-jitsu, and most of them would be eating also because they're hungry after doing that, and I wouldn't be. I'd be just having a beer. And at first, I felt a little weird, but years go by, and it's normal.
Yeah.
So number 3 on this list is get clear on your boundaries. And boundaries, well, I don't know how important this is, but you got to...
I think this really relates to... people feel... when we were growing up, you know, your mother taught you, don't say anything about other people's food or what they eat. It's not polite, and, you know, but today people say all kinds of things and personal remarks and whatnot, and there's pressure. You know, let's go for pizza. No, I don't need pizza. You know, oh, come on, you can have a little pizza. It won't hurt you. You know, and you want to be friendly and you want to be you have camaraderie and whatnot. But I think your boundaries have to be personal, and they have to be something that you believe in because you understand your why.
Right.
And you don't have to have a conversation about them. You just make your decisions based on what's right for you.
Yeah.
And I don't ever try and tell anybody else how to eat. If somebody asks me a question, all I can do is tell them what I do.
Yeah, and that's the next one is appreciate the differences. So, you know, everybody's a little bit different in some things, and for you to appreciate it, I think is an important thing. So you're not judging them. That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. It's not a matter of judgment. It's just a matter of noticing that people are different. And it would be very boring if everybody were the same, too.
That's for sure.
You know?
And number 5 is find healthier ways to connect. Just because you know, these guys are going out for pizza doesn't mean you have to go, but you can go with them and not have pizza. You can have something else, or just eat the pepperoni or something like that.
Even though it's processed, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's exactly, yeah. Okay, and number 6 is know who has your back. Being part of a community.
Yeah, that's always having the support of your tribe, picking out people who, you know, it's, again, stay away from toxic people. If you don't feel right, if you don't feel good being around somebody, don't be around that person.
Yeah.
It sounds very simplistic, but it really is an easy choice. That people hurt you.
And there's communities. I mean, we have the paleo community, a ketone community, a carnivore community. So there are ways to connect, and we have all kinds of social media, so that's not a problem.
Well, but also you don't want to just choose people who think exactly the same way you do.
Yeah.
And that's where that diversity comes in, and appreciating the differences and listening to someone else's point of view.
So the last thing that they mention here is 6 strategies.
Reiteration.
It's 6 strategies for ditching grains for good. Be comfortable with why you're doing it. Check your people-pleasing beliefs. Don't get too caught up in it. Makes sense. Get clear of your boundaries. What's the next one?
Appreciate the differences and find healthier ways to connect and know who has your back.
Yeah, those are the things.
And ultimately, you can do anything for 10 days. That's my...
That is what you told me in the beginning, and it worked.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
As you do it for 10 days, and then, okay, now I'm going to do it for 10 more.
Yeah,
make a deal with yourself. And sometimes you do have to make a deal with yourself and see how it goes. And little by little, if you're mindful, again, you're paying attention to what your body's telling you, which we talk about a lot, and you'll see a good result.
Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about in the same vein about you decided to get healthier, and now you're ditching some of the, real important foods like grains. And the other thing is milk, and we talked a little about this. Dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not a dairy person because you have an allergy to it, a deep allergy to it. Although the goat products seem to work pretty well.
It's cow's milk.
It's cow's milk. It's the casein in there.
I can't digest.
Probably. Yeah. So there's a lot of different, I went to Whole Foods yesterday and got a bunch of stuff, and if you look in the dairy case now, you have a choice of 15 different kinds of milk.
Sheep's milk and,
you have the non-pasteurized, you have the whole milk that still has all the fat in it. We have the pasteurized version of that. We have some of them that are just homogenized. In other words, the cream is mixed in there. The other things we have, of course, is now the almond milk, the soy milk, the rice milk, the hemp milk, all these kinds of things. And
coconut milk.
And some of them taste pretty good. We've tried a bunch of these things. The point is, are they healthy? Are they any healthier, or are they healthy at all? I think in small quantities they're not going to hurt you, but you've got to remember that these are highly processed foods,
First of
especially
all,
the grain ones.
Humans are the only species on the planet that drink milk past infancy.
Yeah.
Mother's milk is what the babies drink, and then they get pushed away.
And there's a
that's
reason for that. There's compounds in there that are specifically made for them for those first few years, 2 or 3 years
the
in humans.
antibodies.
And with animals, it's a shorter period, but highly important that the child is fed from the breast milk. And these days, that's getting less and less, I think.
There's movements in both directions, and more young people are embracing, particularly since they don't have to wash bottles, carry milk around. You know, if they're at home, it's easy.
I think it's a lot of better way to go. I was breastfed for a couple of years. It was during the war. They had to be, you know. So let's go over some of these things. The first one they mentioned is dairy milk. Provides us with a lot of nutrients, of course, calcium, proteins, B12, vitamin A, D, riboflavin, zinc, phosphorus, iodine. However, pasteurizing kills a lot of these things. Yeah. So, you know, they refortify them in it.
Oh, they put it back in?
Yeah, they put it back in, but they don't use really good forms. A lot of these forms are something I wouldn't want in mine. It's not like you're getting the Primal Edge in your milk or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything comes down to moderation, too, you know.
Well, what it really comes down to, Ellen, is how it's absorbed, whether you can digest this stuff.
Right.
And you can't.
Of course. And I can't, so I don't even try.
And I haven't really drunk cow's milk much since I was about 16. My mother stopped making me, and I stopped.
Whipped cream, I think, is your...
Oh, I love whipped cream. Yeah, that's for sure, yeah. So although dairy foods contain some saturated fats, it's not really problematic. We now know that saturated fats really aren't that...
Depending on the source.
Yeah, they're not unhealthy at all if they come from animals, I would say.
Yeah, this one says that a study in 2018 found dairy consumption was actually associated with lower risk of heart disease and death. And so, but I'm still not saying you should be drinking glasses of milk. You need the calcium. Your bones need the calcium.
And, of course, today there's sugar in there, too. So the next one is soy milk. And soy, I remember Paige always saying soy is not there for the girl or the boy because of the type of
It's
hormone
genetically modified in this country pretty much. I mean, it's difficult. For a while there, when I started being allergic to dairy, I used soy milk in my whole grain cereal. And not realizing that wasn't helping me either, because soy, the problem with soy for me was that it also has in it a compound that is similar to estrogen.
Yeah, phytoestrogen. Yeah, and we'll talk about that when we get back. So in the meantime, please pick up our Primal Edge. One Shot Wonder, only $89, gets it to your door. And of course, our Health Signals newsletter is $10 a month. Be right back.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com. Then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Hi, and welcome back. We're talking about which milk is the healthiest for you. Oat, dairy, almond, soy, rice, coconut, blah, blah, blah. Estrogen, phytoestrogen in estrogen in the soy is the problem. And they have some tests or some studies on here that it says it really doesn't have anything to do with breast cancer, which they really thought. But it does mimic the estrogen in humans on a lower level. But if you drink it a lot, I think it does affect you, and some people are more susceptible.
They don't recommend high-dose phytoestrogen supplementation for women with existing breast cancer.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's
No, you have to kind of decide for yourself what to do with these. Almond milk is another one. I think if you're using it in your coffee, a little splash here, then you're not going to have problems. Right. But these things, again, are highly processed. So
well, there's there's all different levels of almond milk. I mean, there's a plain, and then there's vanilla, and then there's with sugar added and whatnot.
They often contain added sugars. It's a highly processed food. If you're using almond milk as an alternative to dairy milk, you want to know about the nutritional benefits. So look for one that's fortified with calcium. Again, here they're talking about fortifying it, because it lacks in something. Why not pick a food that has it in it already in its natural form? That's what we're about. If you can, sure. And a piece of meat has that in it. So
right. There are certainly alternative sources for all of these things.
Yeah, you can just drink water or tea.
Right.
Oat milk is made from blending oats and water and straining off the liquid. It's a good source of fiber. We don't know if fiber really makes that much difference. We tend to eat hardly any fiber.
Except for our meat.
Yeah, well, that's not called fiber. Vitamin E and folate and all these things. It's low in fat, and that's really why people go to these, because they're all kind of low in fat.
It's naturally sweet. That's the key there.
Yeah, and it's low both in protein and calcium. So a lot of these substitutes don't have the same protein qualities that good cow's milk would have.
Well, and then also the oat milk has double the carbohydrates of cow's milk, it says here. So that's
because it's low in the protein. Coconut milk is low in protein and carbohydrates. It's high in saturated fat. So it's probably a little bit better, and a lot of it has to do with the saturated fat, which is very, very good for you. So,
but it says it doesn't contain calcium, and it's not really a good substitute for dairy milk if you need to have the calcium.
Yeah, and then there's the rice milk produced from rice, milling rice and water. It's naturally high in carbs and sugars, has a high glycemic index. That's the real problem with this. You know, when you're switching over from a USA style diet to a more carnivore or more primal or more paleo or carnivore, yeah.
Carnival.
You know, you really have to think about just changing lots of habits, and I think the cereal in the morning with the grains and the milk is something that you need to ditch automatically. So you need to start eating maybe bacon and eggs like we did in the old days, or maybe something left over from the night before is fine
there you
too.
go.
There's all kinds of ways to do it. It's just, you know, this kind of food we really probably never ate except the last 50 or 60 years. Nobody ate cereals in the morning.
In the 50s. Well, now it's already 70 years since the 50s.
Yeah, that's true.
But certainly that's when things started, you know, that bowl of cereal in the morning and so on. Just to go back for a minute to the high glycemic index, that's important because it means that the glucose is quickly released into the blood as you eat.
Yeah.
And then that impacts on people that do have diabetes. So that's a problem.
Yeah, and if you're eating a standard American diet, you've already got a lot of problems with bringing sugar and high carbohydrates in your diet. So this is just compounding it more. So, you know, first we recommend ditching the grains. Then we say, okay, let's get rid of all these milks and everything like that, at least as a major food source. And then start, you know, getting some really good sources of meat. And if you want some vegetables, yeah, that's not a problem. You can add those too. But, you know, really try to figure out, do your own research to figure out what my ancestors did. What, you know, where do you come from and what were your ancestors digesting? Because probably you're good at digesting that stuff too.
And I think that's part of the milk problem is the where you come from. And if you came from Europe, if you came from the Iron Curtain countries, if you came from Asia, that different kinds of...
And that's possibly why I hated the milk when I came to Canada, because I...
tasted so different.
I don't remember the taste so much. It's just I never liked it. And I remember drinking it in Holland. It was okay. Of course, in Holland, they have the A2 cows, where in North America, mostly they have the A1 cows. I don't know what the difference was, but at one point I just said, I don't want any more milk, and my mother kept forcing it kind of until she said, okay, I give up, and I said, hallelujah. I never did it again. I went to bacon and eggs, and I really had problems with those grains, and, you know, and at a young age, I mean, I was 10 years old at that time when I really noticed, you know, that I was having problems with my stomach every single morning, and I had pimples and everything like that. So now we know that if you want to get rid of your pimples, you get rid of your grains, you get rid of the milk, you get rid of the vegetable oils, and your skin is really nice again. So I think it's important that to understand what happens to your body when you start eliminating these toxins that we call food.
Well, and you know, there was another article that we have here on the whole process and procedures for how they do studies.
How to determine the healthiest foods to eat, and that's what I wanted to talk about next. So good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, you're doing your research and you're seeing a study and you're trying to decide, is it from a reputable source? Is it from, and one of the things they point out in this article is really about the whole, the procedures and the protocols for doing a study in the first place, not so much about what's a good food to eat. But the point, I think, is that if the cereal company is sponsoring the research, is that going to skew the results?
In other words, if we go on the web, we can find good things just about every kind of good food. That's the same as you can. I mean, I can have all kinds of articles about that meat is bad for you, and to go be a vegetarian is the healthiest thing in the world. And then you have the other side where no, you don't eat vegetables, eat the meat. Look at how healthy I am. So yeah, if you're looking on the internet and looking for research, you can find what you want.
Well, just looking at strict protocols here, it's interesting to note. First, you want to look for a study that was done with a large sample. You know, if you have 5 people in the study and 4 people come up with something, then to say 4 out of every 5 people is not an accurate statement. It's an accurate statement for that particular sampling of 5. But you want to be sure that you're looking at something that has a large sample size.
Well, here's a study that declares excess sugar consumption shows no side effect. Coca-Cola got caught funding scientists who would helpfully state that obesity had nothing to do with bad diets. There's no.
Whoops.
Yeah, exactly. So the single factor in obesity rate reaching almost 50% is indeed sugar.
Right.
I mean, pretty much proven, and it makes sense.
Right.
So it's difficult to design the nutrition study, is what they're saying. So when we come back, let's talk a little bit more about this.
And that's why we have so much trouble figuring out what to eat.
Except that if you eat something good, you know it. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Welcome back. We're in our last segment here, and I wanted to kind of go over cleaning, a cleaning guide for your entire house, because what we were talking about before was really cleaning your insides, cleaning up your diet and things. But during the COVID times, it's really important to keep things clean in your home too. And this article is just the ultimate guide to cleaning your entire home. And they have all these little tricks and things in here, and we're certainly not going to go over it, but it's going to be in the Health Signals newsletter. So it's a good excuse to sign up for this newsletter that comes on the 1st and the 15th of the month. It's only $10, so $5 an issue. And it goes over all these articles, and this one particularly has, I don't know how many, maybe 100 different things.
Quite a lot.
So things like steam cleaning your microwave, how do you do that? How do you zap your damp or wet sponge in your microwave? So you're using some of these things that we don't even have anymore. I don't have a microwave, but you can do other things too. So this is very picturesque also. It actually shows you what you're doing, what they're doing. So I thought we'd do that.
I was looking at some of these things, and I'm thinking, we have the the faucet in the kitchen sink.
Yeah, here they have a.
Yeah, that one appealed to me a lot, and that was a use of vinegar and water that you tied in a little baggie and put over the end of the faucet overnight.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little hints in here.
Cleaning the inside of the oven, which is something. I mean, even with a self-cleaning oven,
there's still stuff in there.
It doesn't all come off, and you can banish hard water from the mouth of your faucet by attaching a plastic bag filled with vinegar using a rubber band.
Simple little solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, human beings are inventive, that's for sure. Here's steam clean your microwave. Heat a boil full of water for 5 minutes. Let it sit without opening the door for another 5 minutes, and then any stuck or grime will easily wipe off. But here they have. It doesn't say anything about the fruit that's in here. That's weird.
The lemons.
The lemons.
Yeah, right. Well, you can read the article, take a look.
Yeah.
Talks about shining up stainless steel, cleaning the oven tops, all kinds of things here. So guys,
clean yourself up. Clean your act.
Clean up your food. Clean up your heart and your mind, and have a great week. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.